Colonel Musa, thanks for coming. Chief, thanks for being here. Colonel, Chief, thank you very much. Family, friends, this is awesome. This is an honor. Like Colonel Culp said, this is supposed to be a different kind of a ceremony. I've been planning for a few months to do a retirement ceremony, and so we had to change gears a little bit as it happened. But I'm thankful, very thankful. Colonel Culp, never stop being who you are. Your poise, your professionalism, your care and concern, your genuineness. Team, she's the real deal, and having her at our helm, it's amazing. We're very, very, very fortunate. Chief, thank you for your words today, but not just for your words today, for your example. You guide and shepherd and show the path through your daily interactions that we have. Now, we don't deal daily every day, but when I do see you and see you out and about or in our meetings, way above reproach. So thank you for setting a good example. I hope that I can meet all what you said. I got it on a recording, so I can play it back and listen to it later, because I did not take any notes. Airman Kuhn, thank you. Flugelhorn extraordinaire. If you didn't know, that was not a trumpet, that was a flugelhorn. So outstanding job. Pastor Nick, great job. DG, thanks for putting this in together. Smooth dulcet tones over here by Jenkins, being calm, demeanor, love it. Thanks for being part of this. Pastor Nick, thanks for blessing everybody here today with your words. Like I said, big turn of events. I was planning something else and did this. So 4 weeks ago, Colonel Culp gave me the call that kind of changed my life, saying that we were going to be moving into Chiefland, which I did not expect. So kind of having to plan this. But on the enlisted side of the Air Force, we don't typically do these types of ceremonies. This is more of an officer-centric thing. For us, it's typically not all the leather chairs and long 1 minute, plus speeches. So I'm going to try to keep this short to about 436 seconds. It's about 7 minutes, so you don't got to do the math. But I'll try to keep this fun, fast, and a little Fighting Eagles theme. So put those right there. We're the Fighting Eagles in the OSS. But like I said, thanks for coming out here. My mom and sister came out. They actually reserved tickets this weekend, Friday, to come out here. So super last minute, very spontaneous. So I'm very thankful for them to make this trip. Colonel Culp kind of said a little bit of a recap of what I have done, but I want to kind of talk about it from my lens. As a life support troop in the 1900s, like she said, that was my welcome to the Air Force. And kind of like the bottom line up front is probably like a lot of you, but a lot of people have poured into me. I'm not who I am today based on myself. I've been poured into by a lot of people throughout my career, and I owe this stripe to them because they've meant so much to me. But at my first base at Shepherd, my trainers, Mr. Joslin and Mr. Rollins, taught me how to inspect AFE gear with precision and zero discrepancies, to really know the steps in the tech order, and to do it flawlessly. They grew me as I learned the Air Force way of life. Then I signed up for 4 more years, moving to Whiteman. This was my trial by fire base, where my tough supervisor, Tech Sergeant Coots, I loved him and I loathed him at the same time. But he taught me to go beyond the tech order to the inspections. That was not just to know how to inspect it, but to know why we inspected all the gear, what it was made out of. But he stretched me more than most people did, and I gained a lot more responsibility and I learned a whole lot more doing that. Got a couple of LORs in there, maybe an EPR I'd like to have buried and never see again, but that's just part of my story. But during this assignment, life support, we merged with survival equipment and we became aircrew flight equipment, or AFE. We spent nearly 10 years at Whiteman as a family. 4 canceled assignments, that was kind of hard. All overseas, just due to other issues, so wasn't able to go. But at Whiteman, 5 different assignments, the different units that was there, and I learned supply, budgets, program mobility management, training, and leadership. And it was around this time that I kept getting my assignments canceled, that I had a Chief Gonzalez that said, hey, I have an idea, why don't you apply for a desirable job at an undesirable location? So signed up to be an instructor at Dyess Air Force Base in West Texas. And that was great. So going to Dyess, that was my redemption through reputation assignment. As an instructor, I continued to learn more about what the chiefs do as they kind of poured into me from the MAJCOM functional managers would get in there and teach us what to teach all the NCOs. But it was here at Dyess for 4 years that I got to meet and educate just about every NCO and senior NCO and AFE, getting about 2,000 plus hours of instruction time. I absolutely loved it. Also got to travel all over the world, which in case you saw some of those videos, I got to train and educate from PACAF to USAFE all over the place. Guard, reserve bases. It was an amazing dream job. But I had never been a superintendent. I wanted to be an AFE superintendent. And I was getting close to 20, so I was kind of knocking on the door, but the family was okay to stay in a little bit longer, and so I said, hey, can we maybe put in for an assignment overseas? Again, and so they said yes. I'm like, all right, great. So we put in for Japan, and we got it. Japan was kind of my land of opportunity assignment. Opportunity to be an AFE superintendent, opportunity to deploy to AFCENT, a first time or a fill-in first sergeant on a full-time basis, senior enlisted leader, and then the opportunity for our family to live in and travel and really experience another foreign country. So that was amazing. Also, we had the opportunity to finally make chief after 8 attempts. So talk about taking a lot of punches. It took a long time to make senior, so much so that I had little hope to make this rank of chief. But once I made senior, the chiefs in my quarter pushed me to go for it. With their inspiration, we looked for a place to land in Dover Air Force Base. Wow, Dover Air Force Base had a great reputation. You guys have a great reputation. We get after so much here. It's amazing what we do at this base. But Dover is my God's not finished with me yet assignment. I have thought about retiring quite a bit while here, but I love what I do, and it's hard to throw in the towel. Kind of feel like Apollo Creed. But I thought a lot about what promoting to chief would mean. It would mean that we'd have to move again, and the family wasn't so super sold on having to rip out my youngest, who hasn't quite graduated yet. So put in for a high school deferment. Thanks, Chief. We got that approved, and now I knew that, hey, bets off. I can actually try to promote for chief while keeping the family here, and he can graduate here at CR. So I was all in. But my records didn't quite say that I was ready for chief at this point, so I didn't quite get that strap. But then I won the Air Force level award like she was talking about, and I thought, well, maybe I am actually in this game. So I'm not sure what's going to actually happen. But on this base, I've told quite a few airmen that I've talked to is, people will not win a quarterly award or an annual award, and they'll look at me like, how come I didn't win? I thought I did amazing stuff. And I tell people all the time, like, it is so hard to win on this base because there's just so many stellar performers on Dover Air Force Base. So that just kind of speaks to it. You guys really kick a lot of ass out here. But to me, since I didn't get a strat, I thought it was a deal breaker, and I thought I wasn't going to make it. So I thought, you know what? To me, I thought I had a 1% chance or less of actually making chief. So I did kind of throw in the towel, and I applied and got approved for retirement. But then came the call, like I said earlier. We were out skiing that day. I got a call, and she said, hey, what do you think about me calling you Chief Smith? And I thought she was putting me on. I was in utter shock and disbelief. Did not think that was real. Thought she was pranking me, but it was real. And I couldn't believe I go from having a 1% chance of making it to being thrust in the top 1% of the enlisted force. So to me, it's only God, no other way to put it. He's been directing my path and making them straight, probably carried me along the way, if I'm going to be honest. But he's also been placing some of the Air Force's best airmen, NCOs, and senior NCOs in my path. And I owe them and you this stripe. And then for Janelle. Janelle's been by my side since the beginning. She's my cheerleader, my number one support, and I would not be standing here today. Please don't do it. Don't cry. But she said yes to all the enlistments, all the nights in college, the deployments, long hours, and all that extra stuff.
Where's mine? Just kidding.
You guys get it. Like a lot of military families, we've uprooted our family from schools, ripped our older two out of high school, where Ethan had a kind of a promising career in football.